Yo, it's AWAX. I'm over here fucking with BayAreaCompass.
Right on, bro. So this is BayAreaCompass exclusive interview with AWAX, also known as Wax Face. Go ahead and, introduce yourself, bro.
Wax Face, Pittsburgh, Pyrex, all them P's, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, we just got here getting money, man.
Yes, sir. Now, right on, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad we got hooked up, bud. I know the world's actually been waiting for a dope-ass interview like this, bro, to pop off, man, and it's nothing but a perfect time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I appreciate the blog, man. You pumping the music and shit like that. I be seeing you always on the music and support my movement, what I got going. I appreciate that shit.
Yeah, bro, right on, man. Since day one, bro, you know, I've always felt your push, bro, for sure, man. I mean, regardless of what cats feel or say, you know what I'm saying? You drop that real shit, bro, and a lot of motherfuckers can relate to that shit, bro. So definitely, I gotta push that. And plus, you from the Bay Area, anyways, Pittsburgh, not too far to be exact, bro. So
yeah.
You got that plug with me, bro. It's all good.
Looking out, bro.
For real, bro. For real. Now, first question, and I'd rather get this out of the way, you know what I'm saying, before we start getting into the albums and whatnot. But the Figaz, blood. People want to know, obviously, is the beef still there? I know when people ask, you know, Nina, AP9, and Ajaka, they try to avoid that shit, whatever the case is, blood. But, I mean, coming from your mouth and your side, what's really going on?
Yeah, I mean, it ain't nothing. It ain't like, they be where they be, I be where I be. It don't be mixing in, you know what I mean? My route don't pretty much come over their route. That's why we ain't running into each other, unless it's like some extra shit. I don't be doing the little $500 show scene at $700 for a show type shit, so I don't really bump into them type shit, and they don't shop at Louis Vuitton, so they don't really bump into me, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
That's just how I've been panning out, and I'm all right with that, you know what I mean? But if we meet up at an award show or something, it'll be what it'll be. It ain't like I had like Von, my boy, and Von cool with Jackie. Like it ain't so much like motherfuckers getting older now. I'm getting older at least. I know I'm maturing in certain ways, and that I know who my actual problem is with, and I know when I was younger I got caught up in the feeling like I'm being ganged up on, you know what I mean? Like, for me personally, that plays into the reason why I started gangbanging. Like, I felt like the Crips was like bullies when I was a kid, when I was growing up in the areas where I encountered gangbanging and shit. So I specifically went with the Bloods to go against the bullying and shit like that, and they tapped into that some of that by being a group of people trying to stop me from achieving my dreams and my goals individually. So with that said, it tied in other emotions and shit like that, and it got me, it rubbed me the wrong way, you know what I mean? So it's always gonna be a little bit of that in me, but at the same time, I'm doing good in life, and I ain't mad at nothing. I ain't being blackballed. They ain't stopping me from making my moves or doing what I want to do in music in any way, shape, or form. Like I don't feel like I'm missing out on something in my career because I don't go do these $700 shows or whatever. When I was doing shows for $1,000, like we was fighting, tearing up the whole club. Bouncers was getting beat up. I was losing diamond rings and shit in fights and brawls, and like it was just a fiasco everywhere I went. I was going to county jail, and for me, I got strikes and shit like that. I can't just keep being in them situations, and at the same time, I can't always afford to pay for my homies' bail and shit like that, and shit, different costs come into the equation when you move like I move. And I guess typical people don't understand that, but at the same time, I don't feel like my music justifies me doing 100 shows right now. I don't feel like I make party environment music that'll make people feel good and come and have a good time at a show. My music's so gloomy and dark, and the things I be feeling and going through it's only going to perpetuate a certain kind of environment at a show for the most part, unless I turn it around and I'm able to tap into some different shit. And that's what I'm trying to do with my new music, is to actually open up and not just be like I'm not always depressed, or I'm not always feeling sad. Sometimes I joke around, sometimes I'm happy, and I have a problem where a lot of my fans see me in like in the mall or something, and they think I'm unapproachable because of my music. Like they think my music's so hard edged, I'm gonna be like that, and then they meet me and be like, I thought you was gonna be a whole nother way. Like, nah, I'm kicked back, man. I ain't even tripping on no extra shit, man. I don't be pushing my agenda like tell people like fuck the Mob Figaz and nothing like. Ain't nobody tripping on them boys. Like at the end of the day, I ain't no hater. I grew up on them, and they influenced what I did at one point in my career, and I don't take that from them. You know what I mean? Like they from the same area as me and all that. I ain't never tried to overshadow that or say they ain't talented or nothing like that. I say they ain't talented like me because I believe in my own talent, and I hear my raps probably a little different than everybody else does too, because I know what every word means. You know what I mean?
Right. And I'm feeling that, blood. And I'm glad you touched on that shit, blood. The way your style is compared to from what you drop with Savage Times and all that. You see the progression, blood. You see the shit you changed. You see the shit you talked about, blood. It's totally different. I mean, I think I believe I did run into you, blood, back in the days. I think at the Bart show, blood, back in a long time ago, bro. But
I used to do them shows and Oakland shows with JT the Bigger Figure and Alvin Gilroy. And I did the whole circuit, and I tried that. It just didn't work out for me. You know what I mean? Personally, I was on the run at the time. I got all this criminal history. Even if I even get like if police even run my name, it's a big deal. They see what my criminal history was, and they look at me different than a normal citizen. So they gonna give me the extra search and go through the extra motions with me just to be safe for themselves and their own safety. And it's understandable. I did that to myself, but my fans ain't gonna understand that in the way I move. You know what I mean? Like, if I can't afford to protect my investment when I move, which is my brand and my name and myself, then this don't make sense for me. So it's chess, not checkers, man. And everybody may not get it, but it's not fun to get sometimes.
Right, and you moving right, man. I mean, I like how you built your brand, bro. Because I mean, regardless of what it is, you still stay true to yourself, bro. And with the Pyrex brand, bro, that's shit's big, man. I mean, regardless of what cats try to say nowadays, that shit's moving. You know what I mean? I know that like Ice Me's and all these other cats out there. I mean, what happened with this situation? Because one day they're talking about Pyrex something, and the next day it's like they're by themselves. But I mean, do you want to speak on that? Like up with B12.
Yeah, I gave him an olive branch. You know, I had a good situation where, I mean, I thought B12 did some shit for me, and I thought that I may have misjudged it or something. I just trusted him too much, put too much trust in him, and he took advantage of the situation. And so he got fired from the equation. He went from running the daily operations of my music and my label and whatnot for a number of years, probably the last 4 or 5 years. So he was pretty much running everything, but he was doing multiple jobs. But long story short, he was skimming money. He was trusted blindly with the money, and he was skimming. When we caught him with his hand in the cookie jar, fired him. He couldn't prove himself, so we fired him. Then Ice Me's and all the Pyrex artists, like some Pyrex artists was brought into the fold by different people. Like somebody say, yo, this is my boy, I want you to meet him or something. Like Ice Me's and a couple other people particularly were brought in by B12. So I gave everybody the option when the shit hit the fan and I fired B12. I tell everybody individually, look, you can come over here with us, but you can't do business with both. It's one or the other. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's no middle ground. And Ice Me's particularly, he took too long in making his decision. He got a couple of chances to make his choice, and he was like prolonging it until it just became, hey man, if it's that hard to make the decision, we don't need you, you know?
Right.
So it was no hard feelings. It's not like it's a problem with Ice Me's and nothing. Got a lot of love for the kid and wish him the best in his career, but for me personally, it was. I don't think that he understood like the dynamic, like you know what I mean, of the whole situation. Really seen the scope of the vision or the dream of the brand Pyrex that I have in my head. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, and that's why I asked, because I mean, a lot of I paid attention, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what everyone else is doing in this world, but I mean, I was, you know, kind of peeping the movement. I mean, you know, like when that Bail Money track came out, that shit was hot blood, and you know, the movement that you guys were pushing, that tone. Huh?
I paid for that out of my own out of my own pocket, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like the video wasn't cheap or nothing and stuff like I believe in my artists, and I try to make them feel good, and make them feel like they got something and believe in themselves, and show them how to believe in themselves and invest in themselves. And sometimes some artists see it and they take it as that, and some take it as this is just how it's gonna be. So he gonna be paying for all my videos, like. And I try to motivate. It's like you can bring a horse to the water, you just can't force it to drink, and you can't.
Right.
And it's that situation with a lot of artists. I genuinely try to help artists out of a place in my heart where I was misled early in my career a lot. If it weren't for Woody and certain people, I would have been totally misled and probably gave up immediately if I didn't have certain knowledge and people to give me inspiration. So I try to, in turn, be that inspiration for aspiring artists that I see that I'm to gravitate towards me. But sometimes it backfire in your face, you know what I mean? Like no good deed goes unpunished. That's what they say. So
well, you know they say that the hate comes from within your camp sometimes, you know what I mean? So
well, people come around you and then they get to count in your pockets, or they look at your Instagram and they be like, look, he got this and that on his gram, but he come around and you know what I mean? Like, he ain't fucking with us like that. Like, it's easy to do that. Sometimes it's smoke and mirrors for rap. Sometimes I'm not doing as good as I was last week, but I took a couple extra pictures last week, and I'm gonna put them up this week. You know, so people don't get that kind of that I play chess with my career. I don't just live it out day to day, and because they're at a disadvantage because of the way they go about their career, they want to blame me for what I do. But I can't be concerned with no one else's opinion of how I move or how I do anything about my career. I'm beyond that now, and I let opinions weigh me down for a long time before I finally woke up and got past that shit.
I bet, but I mean, you know, as far as the albums that you're in, but I mean, how do you, man? Because you know, that one thing that you clicked up with Woody and then, man, that's history right there, blood. And, you know, R.I.P. Woody, bud, because he was doing big things out there, man. I mean, how does he move you now, man? Like, you know, like, do you really use a lot of the shit that you learned from his?
Yeah, he's a part of me. His business monologues, everything still plays in. It's not exactly the same because the game's changed so much, but at the same time, it's still applied in its own areas, and the same basic knowledge applies still. You know what I mean? So, and just his business practices, man. Anybody that's ever did business with Woody would tell you he was a great businessman. He never burnt anybody. He always was a man of his word, and he stuck. If you paid him for something, he did his work, and if he got something from you, he paid you for your work. He was always just a real up and down solid businessman, and he had integrity in what he did, and it taught me to do the same no matter what, no matter how big or small the artist I'm dealing with or who I'm about to get in a beat from. I try and treat everybody equally, you know what I mean? But I do have my moments where I get short, but I don't snap on people. I don't be no bougie ass rapper.
Right.
Like I'm better than y'all or something. You know what I mean? Like I ain't.
Right.
I don't be on none of that shit, bro.
That's dope, man. That's respected right there, bro. Right on, bro. Glad you touched on that. Now, as far as the game, bro, because I know you know what I'm saying, you've seen that shit change, bro, from the point where it went to motherfuckers was trying to push mixtapes for free, and they was trying to give out these CDs and press copies and this and that, now to these digital age, bro. I mean, how do you feel on that, bro? I mean, you know, when people were selling these CDs and they was making money out of Trent, now it's like, man, motherfuckers don't have to buy a full album, bro. They can just download one song and be happy with that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they can, but it's the same. It was a transition. It was like once downloading came into the game, you just had to deal with it. Like initially, I was mad, and you might have seen old Sickness post where I was pissed off about it, and because I was fresh in the game, and I didn't really get to get to get my beak wet on the sales when everybody was eating. I missed that whole thing. I kind of came right when the sales took a big plunk and Bayside and everything went down.
Yeah.
All the last mom and pops was closing and shit like that. So when I came in the game, I didn't get to sell 15, 20,000 like everybody else and get that good luck. So for whatever, I came in like a dead area, but at the same time, I learned to use it to my advantage. I tried the free albums myself, and I went with it instead of fighting it. I just went with it in hopes of building my fan base and keeping them happy, so that when I was able to get my feet on the ground and understand what was happening in the changing times, that they would still be with me. You know what I mean? And follow me through that transition. And I've been lucky for that. I can't thank any of my fans enough for sticking with me through that shit. And I had a rough patch where I was dealing with drug addiction and shit through some of those albums and different things in my life that played through, and you could hear them in my deliveries and shit like that. And I know the fans probably can't hear that shit necessarily, or me rushing songs and the way I was writing them and not putting time into it, or not just doing 10 songs and calling it an album instead of doing 20 and picking the best ones. Like I was cutting corners early in my career.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I guess that's safe enough to say, bro. But I mean, your new music really touches on a lot of shit that you was feeling, like that Jesus Malverde, bro. That album right there is and I want to say one of the classics, blood, because I mean, you really touch on a lot of shit, from even the point where, you know, that one song about, I'm not sure if it's true about the mom's situation and all that, but I mean, man, that one song, bro, that one song's a hit right there, but my that whole album just knocks, blood. So I mean, you know,
it's
releasing that shit.
It's music like that like, you know, it's certain songs like I can't listen to. You know what I mean? Like that song is personally, I can't play that song back. And sometimes I make songs like that, so it's not a song I would ever want to perform or nothing. You know what I mean? Like
of course not. Yeah.
It's too personal, and it's songs like that about my childhood and about how I grew up. I will delve into it in my music just to like get it off my chest sometimes, but it's not. It is literal sometimes in a lot of those songs, and especially things dealing with my mom is a touchy subject for me. Being I went to jail so young and things like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. So, I mean, regardless too of that song, but I mean, how does and you know, this is something that I've always wanted to wonder, but when it came to you, are all these songs that you've made, have they been sitting for a while and then you just been like, you know what, I think this will group together with perfect on this app? Or is it something that you just walked into the studio real quick and be like, hey, I'm going to knock out these on these beats real quick, I just wrote these, and they just happened within those days?
It'll be a mixture of things. Like my Throwaways album, that's all like at least some of it's 5 and 4 years old before it came out. It's a little side project, but Pulling Strings, for example, Trainwreck was 3 years old, but $40 was probably a year old. But at the same time, Whip It was a week old when the album was pressed. You know what I mean? So some of the songs they didn't fit. They didn't have a place on some albums, and I just shelf them. And then on another album, I'll just be like, you know, this fits, and I can throw it in there. But I literally probably have at least 50, 60 songs laying around, and probably another 100 or 200 in the computer that I ain't even looking around at, just laying around it. I could always pull them up and just finish the idea, relay the vocals, and it'll sound pretty much like I just did it if I relay the vocals. And I do re-record a lot too, so I don't just record once and then put out an old song from vocals from 3 years ago. I'll drop it again.
Damn, that's interesting, man. It's dope, bro. As far as and I don't want to touch on the new Elm Part 2, but on like the first one, and I don't know if it's on the first one or not, but that one track, bro, with like Missing You. I mean, is that because that one right there, man, that one I played out on repeat sometimes, but because you know that I can reminisce on some shit, but that one you touched on some crazy shit too. But even with I think you made a video too, but I don't know, but that one.
That's in the same category as the Her Mistake song, pretty much too. It's just that was a situation. I had one of my best friend growing up. He like we was like aces and gang banging and all kind of shit. He was just a Paru from West Side Paru, and he pretty much, it was the people I clicked up with when I started rocking with the Parus, and he showed me around in that gang world. And when I went to jail, he took all my calls and really looked after me when I was down in jail and shit, and gave me, and would send me packages and CDs and keep me up on music and things like that. And when I was in jail, nobody had friends like that. Everybody was like, "Where's your homies?" And I actually had a real homie that held me down. And then when I came home and shit, we lost him and shit. And I had a discrepancy with him before I lost him, and me and him didn't really get to clear the air, and it was just unresolved, and it really just left a big hole in my heart, and not a way to fix it. You know what I mean? So that's a trip. Yeah, that's what that song is right there. And like my boy Mom, that song means a lot to his mom, and he had an unborn baby at the time. It was that now he's getting grown and shit like that, and I get to see their family and shit still from time to time when I get up north. So that means a lot to me too.
Right on, bro. That's a heartfelt song right there, bud.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean, I'm not only a blogger, but I be listening to this shit too, but so I just wanted to ask, man, because you know what I mean.
Yeah, nah, straight up though, that's my boy E, man. He was a youngster. He passed probably like 10 years ago. That shit feel like it was yesterday, you know? Like sometimes you lose people that's irreplaceable, man, and that shit just don't ever heal up. That's one of them joints right there.
Yeah.
I did songs about that before, too. I did a old song about Rest in Peace E before on probably Unconditional Thug or Thug Deluxe or something on some of my older material.
Yeah. Yeah, man. All right, I'm going to have to check that, but I don't think I ever heard that one. But, so Pyrex Blood and then Big Trees. I remember you were doing a lot of shit. I mean, some motherfuckers would say that you were, you know, because I know Berner and all them blew up on, you know, first doing that weed shit and all this and that. But really, I mean, you was really the first one out there with blowing them big trees and doing all that, Blood. I mean, how did that end up not really, like, going as far as you thought it would go? You know what I mean, with Big Trees? Because I know the albums was dope, Blood, and you had some hitters on that where now it's like it's just you.
That was so long ago. Weed was still decriminalized pretty much. I mean, it was still illegal out here in Cali. So it was like that. I had 2 strikes at the time, and I wanted to be a Berner, like a hippie kind of weed artist, and put it on my back like that. But with the strikes, with my criminal history and stuff, the police wasn't going to laugh at that. Like it's cool with Berner, you know what I mean? He doesn't, when you pull his name up in an NCIC or something, he probably doesn't look like Martin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to Berner. I was stupid growing up, man. I made some mistakes, and I grew up thinking that that's what you do is be a rapper. You go to jail, you try to get out, you know what I mean? You live what you rap about. You do this knucklehead shit, and you ain't no faking the funk motherfucker, and can't even pull the sheets from off you, and you won't never get the rug pulled from under your feet. But it ain't that no more, you know what I mean? Like, I thought it was like Milli Vanilli and them. If you get caught lip syncing, they kicking you up the stage forever. And I was going
right.
But it ain't necessarily that, but it's kind of like jokes on me, but I ain't bitter about it, man. I did mine the way I did it, man. I stuck it through. I played it right, and thank God that I made it out unscathed and with in one piece and with my sanity and whatnot. And I have a lot to be thankful for, man. At the end of the day, so it's not like I'm bitter about nothing, bro.
No, never that, bro. I was just, I wanted to actually ask that because I remember that shit. But when I, picking up them CDs, I would see all them trees, blood, and I was like, man.
Well, we
really
did
pushing this shit.
It's funny. We actually had a cannabis club too, right around the corner. I don't know if Berner owned it or if he was working there. But he was working in the city way back, like when the stuff first started. We was on Haight Street in Fillmore, and he was, I think, on Geary or something, and we was getting it, but at the same time we was skeptical, man. My brother and them just went down in a big Fed case, and my name was caught up in the paperwork with my boy who was doing the big trees too, and they like mixed my name with his phone number and a bunch of shit, and I didn't know what was happening with myself, if they were looking for me at the time or nothing. So, but God, you know what I mean? God let everything work out the way it worked out, and God bless Berner. I respect his hustle, man. He does his fucking thing, man. Wish him all the success in the world, man, with that lane. And who knows, man, maybe I will drop an album gear for that someday and jump around there a little bit, because I am a big advocate of marijuana and the whole movement.
I bet. I think I hear you blowing up some shit being in the background, bud.
yeah, no doubt, bro, right now.
For real, bud. So you know what I find crazy, bud, is how loyal you stayed with photo docs, bud, with Shemp and them, right? I mean, damn, man, that's, you know what I'm saying, with your music, and then not only getting the album covers and the CD trays and all that shit just juiced with the photo docs, bud. That shit's crazy. I'm glad that you kept that relationship, but that's dope.
Yeah, Shemp's really been there since the beginning with me, and I can't thank him enough, man. He's always been a real good dude and treated me fair. And he's worth every penny that he charges, and to me he's the best graphic artist in the game. I just really enjoy working with Shemp. Every project, like, I look forward to. That's one of the parts I look forward to the most, is the mixing. Non-stop mixes it, and when Shemp sends me the cover, man, that's like,
right.
I'm addicted to that shit, bro. Like, straight up, like a lot of rappers, they get high off going to the shows. A lot of rappers and knocking bitches and all that, man. I get high off this music shit, man. Like, how this shit come together and putting this project together. I'm just trying to get something that I'm just trying to get a song to gain a little bit of at least regional popularity, so I could justify actually going to tour and brush up and shake hands with my fans and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And actually get out there and do that. But at the same time, my label deal is still coming through too right now, so it's only a matter of time right now. It's probably a couple months out before we start getting this shit all the way in motion. But I already got my shit signed, and I'm already everything locked and loaded, man. My label owner just waiting on this check, and then we all the way good with it.
Wow, man, that's good to hear, man. I'm happy for you, bro.
Looking out, bro.
Yeah, man. And all I gotta say, from 65 G's, I think that was the first one you fucked with Shemp on, all the way till now, man. That's crazy loyal right there, bro. That's dope.
Yeah, that's my boy right there, man. He missed out on a couple covers and shit. Now I just used this font for a couple in the middle, and shit was a little rough, but we got right back on track, like nothing ever stopped him. And man, I plan on using Shemp for all my shit, so I don't plan on straying off unless it's like a single cover or something small.
Yeah, that's dope. I know the throwaways, man. You know, that was a little something different, but I mean, yeah, man, I can't wait to see the new shit you got going on, man. That Elm Part 2 one, that cover is raw too, bud.
Yeah, good looking out, bro. Shemp he really be doing his thing, man. When he do them layouts, he really give you some work.
Oh yeah, man, he definitely worked that scratch, bud, for sure.
Yeah.
So now touching on the new one, bud. How do you feel on it, bud? What's your views on it, bud? Before
it's not pulling strings. I know we're coming direct. I'm coming kind of fresh off pulling strings. It ain't even been out very long, and I'm coming with another album. So I don't want any of my fans to think they're walking into that album again. I'm not. You know what I mean? Like,
why did you get some negative views from that shit or what, bud? I mean,
not at all. The album was kind of gloomy, man. It was kind of like like everything was just had a dark cloud over it. My insecurities and my motherfucking paranoias and my motherfucking, it was just all of that shit wrapped in a ball. And I moved out of that phase, you know what I mean? At some point I quit feeling like that, and I just got mad and was back aggressive, like, and that's what this album is. I was just pissed off and just like, you know what? Ain't nobody fucking with me. I was just on some shit like that. It's just, more like arrogant on this album than like depressed. You know what I mean? So
right.
that's different. There's different emotion went into making this album. That's the only difference in it for me. So I think it's the music's as good, if not better quality though. Like the whole shit's solid. And I really didn't just rush into it. I took my time with it and did it the right way. Pushed the release back one time so it could get fine tuned to add a couple songs to it. But it's 16 songs with like 8 features, and I got Too Short on there, Smig, Luke Bingham. I got Bang, my boy E Bang, he a Pyrex artist. So
I think that E Banger one, that one with Rain, that one's clean, but
losing up. And then I got Frenchie and Bakery Brad from out there, Queens, South Jamaica. Yeah. My homies from out there, and to keep it pushing, man. I'm just fucking with my homies on this album, like L1. At the time, everybody who was Pyrexing at the time, I tried to give them a look on my solo album with the first L. So I'm trying to do the same here and get as many of the Pyrex artists involved as I can on the project and give them a good look.
That's dope, man. You know what I've always wondered about you, but did you get a plaque, bro, from that Baby Bash shit? I remember reading a fucking, you know how they say those little plaques from them, gold plaques and platinum plaques?
Yeah.
I remember hearing that you got a gold one from that Baby Bash album. Is that shit true?
Yeah. I was on the Smoking Nephew, and then I was on the second album, Get Wigged. What was it called? I got the plaque off Smoking Nephew off his first album, had Sugar on it. I got the record for that one. Bash did his thing, man. Shout out to Steve L. Put me up on that.
Yeah. For real, bro. You ain't gonna be fucking with no Baby Bash anytime soon, but that shit'll that motherfucker's known for his singles, bud.
Yeah, Bash is actually he's like family, man, you know what I mean? And we got mutual family members and shit like that, so we pretty much family and shit like that. And me and Bash been rocking for a long time together, since way back in the Savage Times days kind of shit. So I got a lot of love for Bash and respect for what he does. It's just sometimes it's hard for me and Bash to do work together because of his lane and my lane are so opposite. Yeah, it's hard to find that medium, and I'm trying to find it myself, that balance right now, and hopefully I can find it and we could get something going soon or something like that. But I fuck with Bash, man, and we're kind of close and behind the scenes, not so much in the public. We don't get to do shows together and nothing like we used to as much, but I still show up at his shows and shit. I went to a show of Bash's actually in Fresno like a couple weeks ago, man. Did a Modesto show with him like last year.
Okay.
Things like that. But I just pop up. I don't pay on the bills or nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's dope, man. So, right on, man. What's the date for Elm, though, man? When's that one dropping, bro?
On the 13th, January 13th, we dropping Volume 2. And we're going to have physical copies, and we're going to give away a free copy, a free version of the album for people that ain't got their money right, with a couple DJ drops on it. Hopefully Big Von going to be involved in that project. We just trying to wait on the schedule right now because we so pressed for time and such short notice. But we're going to give away a free version, then we're going to have the online version, which will be reasonably priced and a little higher price, physical copy for like $35.60, 62 cents or something.
Nice.
So we're gonna just run it out like that. A little bit of Nipsey Hustle, man. My boy I-Rock fucking with Nipsey Hustle and shit, man. Helping me out on the business end and giving me different ideas and putting me up on stuff. So I'm just gonna try and I know it's a little higher price. Nipsey charging $1,000 for a CD, and I gotta justify selling CDs right now, man. I'm selling such little CDs, and it's so hard to stay relevant. It costs so much to make these albums. I gotta at least cut the money I'm making these albums back and to justify doing this so much. You know what I mean?
Right.
So at the same time, it's moving. I appreciate all my fans, and I hope they stick with me through these little changes and whatnot. And If not, they could just download that free one, and I hope that'll get them to it. But I'm trying to, just gonna try to stay with the times, man, stay relevant like I've been doing.
Yeah, man. I don't think you have a problem with that, bro. As long as you just keep dropping that shit you have been, brother, the cats is gonna be there for you. You know what I mean? That's real talk, bro. Just keep doing what you're doing, bro. I'm telling you right now, you ain't doing nothing wrong, bro. Because cats is feeling it, bro. And no matter, I talked to a couple of cats today. I was in an interview with you and shit. You know what I mean? And they were just like, oh man, that dude got skills, man. That's all they say, man. They just feeling the movement, bro. So they you know. That's a positive.
Yeah. Man. At the end of the day, I hope people can see that, man. Can judge me and look at me for what I do on this rap shit. And I don't want to be. I'm not trying. I ain't got nothing to, like that Mob Figaz shit and all that other shit. That's like a kicking a dead horse to me. You know what I mean? Like that shit could pop up, but that I don't need that. Like my music can speak for itself. I don't need none of that. And at the end of the day, I do want to be known for my music, and I want to be judged on that, and not my personal life. Like, don't matter if I'm a gangster, if I went to jail, and none of that don't matter. At the end of the day, if I wasn't one, I could still rap. No one would give a fuck. So I don't even. It don't mean shit to me in the equation right now. I just want to be judged and listened to for my music and critiqued off that. Now, people don't know me personally to be going than that other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But turn that leaf and I'll be good, bro. I appreciate the look though, man.
Yeah, for real, man. I got you, bro. Don't even stress, bro. I'm glad I was able to connect with you before the Elm project dropped. You know what I'm saying? This will give you, a little bit of extra promo and shit, man. Whatever I can do to help. I'm here, bro. I'm here, bro. Yeah. So, chapter 2 dropping. And, dropping 2 on January 13th. January 13th, man. And, definitely it's going to be on BayAreaCompass, whether it be on iTunes or whatever it is. All that shit's going to be accessible on the website, bro. So we got you. We got your back like a chiropractor, bro.
You are now rocking with the illest. BayAreaCompass, providing the world with all the best Bay Area music.